This episode of Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you by the Yukon Delta Fisheries. Community development through fisheries development. Living to fish, fishing to live. The Yukon Delta Fisheries. Heartbeat Alaska would like to thank the following sponsors for making our show possible. Brown's Electric. Thank you, Brown's Electric, for your generous support. Heartbeat Alaska is also brought to you by Frontier Flying Service. Thank you, Frontier, for getting Heartbeat Alaska airborne.
Heartbeat Alaska is also brought to you by Comtech Business Systems Incorporated. Heartbeat Alaska is also brought to you by Ed's Kasilov Seafoods.
1, 2, 3, 4, let's go.
It's Heartbeat.
It's a fabulous show.
Alaska.
Hi, Heartbeat Alaska.
It's Heartbeat. Alaska.
Pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hear it from Sitka to Barrow. Gather around for Jeannie's show. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo. It's the Aleut, the Indian and the Eskimo.
Welcome one, welcome all.
Hello everyone and welcome to Heartbeat Alaska Native News and Information. I'm Jeannie Green. Thank you so very much for joining me. On today's program we travel to Western Alaska on the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. Traditions that have carried on for thousands of years are still being carried out today as we learn about a young hunter that's coming of age. In a village in southwest Alaska, hundreds of years ago, a young boy went out on the ice and caught his first seal. He was now a hunter, a provider, a valuable asset to his village. There will be a celebration. Many will come from other villages to dance, to eat delicious food, and to acknowledge his new status among his people. His heart pounding, he hauled the seal home, knowing full well this day would be like no other. In this village, in the summer of 2004, a young boy caught his first seal. The cycle continues, and once again, the village celebrates.
I get in the hall and starts at 6:30 tonight, and that's when our new dancers will be performing.
Well, in a couple of hours, our son here, Lewis, we call him Wagga, his Eskimo name, he goes by name Wagga. He's going to be doing his first Eskimo dance. The reason he's doing his first dance is that he caught his first seal this summer. And so he caught two of them. He caught one with a spear, and he caught one with a harpoon. And so since he caught that, he gets to dance this year for the first time.
The tradition of a potlatch dates back through the centuries as far as the natives themselves. The tradition involves eating, dancing, and a gift giveaway. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Canadian and U.S. governments saw potlatches as wasteful and a detriment to the native societies, because sometimes the old tradition involved the outright destruction of the gifts. The governments banned potlatches until 1934 in the U.S. and 1951 in Canada. The Yupik village of Kotlik located on the western shore of Alaska in the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, continues this age-old tradition of food and dance. Roseanna Dan Waghiyi, an elder from Stebbins, remembers the traditions.
In 1971, Henry had bodied back. And from then on, it keep going for next generation. And it's been in our life, all our lives.
Billy Teeluk is a longtime resident of Kotlik. He tells us of his village's tradition as he takes us through town.
Before Potlatch started, they used to have what they call Kuvgik, and that Kuvgik was to get all communities together and bring in presents for dancing, community hall, and the purpose was for to help these elderly people, sick people, or even disabled people. And then after Eskimo, after the Kuvgik, they would distribute this food to these people that are having a hard time, and that are poor people, and they give them out to those people. And since we moved here, they switched to Potlatch, and that part of giving kind of changed. It's the same thing, but we bring our young kids to dance the first time, and then we give out stuff out.
Kotlik is not alone in their celebrations. Stebbins, another village 95 miles to the north, is the dance partner for Kotlik.
When we first started Potlatch out here, 7 people used to come up in a group, in a huge group, all together, and they're coming in, and they would go straight to the hall, and we would welcome them with all the food that all the women prepared in a hall, and then we let them eat at the hall first, and then they would return to where they're going to sleep. And that we haven't done that for quite a while, because I don't know, maybe because time has changed where there are more people, and a lot of people come over, and we can't feed everybody, even though we want to. A lot of people from other villages come around.
Half a century ago, Kotlik was not much more than a permanent fish camp. The village used to be about 5 houses until the mid-1960s, when a new BIA school was built. Residents of Chinilit, Billmore Slough, Hamilton, and Pastolik relocated to Kotlik. Since then, the community has grown to just over 600 people today.
Every year since we moved from these other villages, people here started having potlatch again, Stebbins people, and we trade every year. We have potlatch here and then Stebbins, and the next year we'll have the Stebbins, and they come here next year, and we do that every year.
Since a potlatch is such an important event, preparation takes months of time and effort. Isidore Hunt, a respected elder of Kotlik, tells us how long the village has been at work for this event.
We've been practiced for about before Christmas. Before Christmas we start practicing almost every day, and take a break on Thursday. And there's first-time dancers. We've been practicing. They're really happy with them, and And even these singers, those young ones, they're starting to learn how to sing.
A potlatch is not limited to just dancing and eating. A few years ago, Billy Teeluk built a steam bath.
This is my steam bath, our men's club, 350 degrees, good stuff. Anyway, this is our steam bath, and I made this back in 92 somewhere, so it cooked up a lot of people. Sometimes I have 4 or 5 people and 6 people in here all together, men, and we take a good 2-hour steam bath. Every time when we have potlatch, when people gather, usually they have an evening off right here, and we tell a lot of stories in this steam bath we have out here.
The preparation for this potlatch does not end with the people arriving from Stebbins. The families whose children are featured in the dancing for the first time also work hard as well.
We made like mittens out of beaver and rabbit mittens, and there's a hat, it's called a mahkayak, and it's made out of beaver and leather. And what else? We made blankets, quilted blankets. And I can't remember what else. Oh, and ulus. We made a whole bunch of them. And then we bought all the stuff from Anchorage.
We got some furs, got some beaver, we got them tan and stuff like that. We got some otter, we got a lynx that we had. Made some harpoons, made a few spears for him to give away. And all the stuff that we get here, we're giving them away to people from out of town from Stebbins. That's our dance partners. So the majority of our things are going to go out to Stebbins people then.
But dancing for the first time is not something they do alone. It is a family affair.
Well, he's going to dance with 2 other kids. They're his cousins, and they're going to be dancing. And his namesake, my dad's namesake, Aga, and his namesake, Lolly, will be dancing together. And there's another kid, Brendan. So they'll be dancing all together. Then after they dance, maybe one or the song, afterwards we go down and dance with him.
They've come from surrounding villages. Excitement's in the air, and they're all heading in one direction. Before they know it, the time has come to head to the community hall to get the potlatch started. The place quickly fills up with all the people from Stebbins and Kotlik, and the dancing begins. The reasons to hold a potlatch is not just to have fun with dancing, but to just have fun, especially at the expense of each other. This group has one cousin they have given fake buck teeth, a woman's headband, and even lipstick. Soon, the first new dancers are brought out, and gifts are given to the people from Stebbins. The ancient tradition of gift giving served many purposes. The first was to promote the social status of the family. The more gifts they gave out, the higher in status they were, so families would try to outdo each other in giving. It also showed goodwill towards the rest of the tribal members by distributing the wealth and feeding those that were not able to collect enough food. And after the new dancers perform, the more valuable gifts, such as handmade spears, blankets, and skins, are typically given to the elders. These gifts are saved for special people. They are traditionally given in memory of a deceased relative who the child is named after. This keeps the tradition of the family lineage intact. The little hunter's been watching everyone else dance. He's been waiting on the sidelines, but his moment is coming up.
Those are on the other side. Okay, no, that's the other side. Over there.
Then it was time for a second group of new dancers to come into the hall. This time, it's August's turn to perform. But before he takes the stage, his family also hands out their gifts to the people from Stebbins.
We're giving all the gifts that we made and stuff that we bought here. We're giving out to all. This section is all for Stebbins here. Then we're giving out to our people who came from St. Mary's in different areas. And we all give to the Stebbins first. They come first because they're our partner there.
After they dance, they serve these special ones to special persons, so that's what they do. At first they pass out everything around except a few items that they don't sell. At the end they pass it on to their relatives.
Soon, the big performance is up. With the whole village and the visitors from Stebbins watching, August and his cousins take up their dance fans. As he nervously begins to dance, he begins his life as a hunter and provider for his village. And then the family joins in. After the last big gifts are handed out, the night seems to be over. But wait, there's more gifts. Now the question is, who to give it to?
We're glad it's over then. It's all worth all the effort then. Well worth it.
Potlatch dancing is beneficial in many ways and is more than just a ritual.
It's something like a physical, like, you know, robot or exercising like getting skinny or something. It's something like, it's a good health thing. It's a really good for our body. Just like we sometimes just like we clean our body, like maybe you heard about confessions or things like that, just like we clean our body. And this mat you saw on the floor, we have to respect it. It becomes like an altar. And same time, nighttime, when they're dancing, they're praising God and thanking God and asking for help. That's the way I understand it. That's what elders say.
Dancing is embroidered into the fabric of Yupik life.
I learned it when I was small. And at that time there was no tape recorder. Right now we're lucky to have tape recorders and videotapes. If you understand the motion, they're just like riding a leather on the movements. Some of them are, between them, there's yodeling, cowboys sing yodeling songs between them. That's how it goes.
As in all cultures, fellowship with family promotes wellness and spiritual healing.
Last year, this month, I lost my husband, but this potlatch really helped me, cheer me up, really cheer me up. I lost 7 relatives last year and each month, and this Eskimo dancing really cheer me up, make me have fun watching them.
A 100 years ago, a young boy caught a seal, and the village celebrated. Today, the tradition goes on, and on, and on. Perhaps someday, Olga's own son will dance at a potlatch for the first time. We hope the tradition continues. And I hope the tradition of you watching Heartbeat Alaska continues as well. Thanks for making us the most watched television program in rural Alaska. Join us again next week. God bless every single one of you. And we'll see you again somewhere in the bush. To purchase a copy of this program, have your credit card ready and call area code 907-563-7440 or send check or money order to Jeannie Green Productions. Ask for the program number listed below.